production.
This is the Hot 7 News.
Good evening. It is Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. I am Daniela Edwin. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We are on Flow Channel 117, Kiss FM, the Caribbean Hot FM mobile app, the Caribbean Hot 7 TV Facebook page, and our YouTube channel, Caribbean Hot 7 TV. Not forgetting those of you using the Hot 7 plug and play antenna. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin tonight with Money Matters. After months of anticipation, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has laid the Salary Review Commission report, recommending a cumulative 23% salary increase for 54 senior public servants in grades 19 to 21. The recommendations also include recalculating pensions and gratuities for eligible retirees to ensure they benefit from the revised salary levels.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre on Tuesday, March 11, 2026, laid the long-awaited report of the Salary Review Commission, paving the way for salary adjustments for senior public servants and holders of parliamentary and constitutional offices.
This commission, as we know, is constitutionally empowered to review the salaries of senior public servants, grade 19 and above, and the political directorate. Its mandate is clear: to act expeditiously following the conclusion of negotiations for public servants between grades 1 and 18, so that parity and fairness may be maintained across the public service.
The review covers 54 civil servants in grades 19 to 21, with the Commission recommending a cumulative 23% salary increase, calculated across 6 trienniums.
From 2011-2012 to 2027-2028, 17 years, at an annual rate of 1.35%, to be paid as follows: a cumulative salary increase of 20.3%, covering the period April 1st, 2011 to March 31st, 2026, 15 years, retroactive. Salary increase of 1.35%, effective April 1st, 2026. Salary increase of 1.35%, effective April 1st, 2027.
Pierre explained that the Commission brought together professionals from the public and private sectors, including expertise in economics, medicine, and infrastructure, to assess the salaries and conditions of senior officials.
The Commission comprises a chairperson appointed from among persons qualified and experienced in the fields of industrial relations, business management, economics, accountancy, law, medicine, or any other field of no less than 10 years standing. A representative of the government nominated by the Prime Minister. A representative of the opposition. A representative of the opposition nominated by the leader of the opposition. A representative of the private sector.
Review also looked at officers who retired during the lengthy period without salary adjustments, with recommendations aimed at ensuring they are not left behind because they retire before the new rate took effect. For retired officers in grade 19 to 21, the Commission recommended that pensioners and gratuities be recalculated using the revised salary levels. Retirees would also receive a proportionate entitlement based on the 23% cumulative increase up to the year they retired. The recommendations are intended to bring greater fairness to the treatment of both serving and retired senior public officers. With the report now formally before Parliament, attention will turn to how the recommendations are implemented and what they will mean for those affected. For Hot 7 TV News, Josiah Bisset reporting.
And while public servants could see more money in their pockets, our health sector is struggling with the opposite problem. The Millennium Heights Medical Complex is owed more than $20.5 million in unpaid healthcare bills, up from EC's $16 million in November 2024, putting added pressure on hospital operations. Health Minister Moses Jabati says the government is improving payment collection, including possible online payments, as it works to recover funds needed for healthcare services.
The Millennium Heights Medical Complex is chasing more than EC $20.5 million in unpaid healthcare bills, placing added pressure on the country's public healthcare system. CEO Dr. Damian Greaves says the outstanding amount, which includes bills from patients at Owen King EU Hospital, has climbed from about EC $16 million in November 2024. The growing debt means less money is available for essential medical supplies, equipment replacement, and repairs across the facility. Health Minister Moses Baptiste addressed the issue of unpaid hospital bills, saying it has been a recurring concern that needs greater attention. He explained that based on historical medical records, patients were previously allegedly paying only about 5% of the cost of the healthcare services they receive.
If we look at the records, if we look at the records of the former Victoria Hospital, we will see from that time the receivables, meaning the amounts of money that was owed to the Victoria Hospital is quite a bit. In fact, from the Victoria Hospital moving into the Millennium Heights Medical Complex, if you look at the history, we will realize that patients paid only 5% of the costs, the costs that were charged, only 5%. And we have been encouraging users of the medical services to invest some more.
He pointed to improvements at the St. Jude's Hospital, where the recovery of outstanding payments has increased from roughly 34% over the past 4 years to about 45% recently. The minister said patients using St. Jude's are now paying back a larger share of their bills, while payment recovery at the Millennium Heights has also improved.
I want to congratulate and thank the users of the services at the Millennium Heights Medical Complex, OKEU. We have seen an improvement and we can only do better. It is important to note that the government has always indicated that we would invest a lot more. We are investing more in the health services there in St. Lucia. We are putting a lot of resources into early diagnosis, especially for cancers. Through the World Bank project, we saw an increase in pharmaceuticals. We saw an increase in services to individuals with hypertension and also diabetes. But this cannot, of course, cover all of the medical costs.
The government is also looking to make the collection process easier by continuing to digitalize hospital billing, including the possibility of allowing patients to pay their bills online. Jabaptiste is urging people to take a greater responsibility for their health, while also recognizing that when medical bills are left unpaid, the pressure eventually reaches the wider healthcare system.
We continue to ask St. Lucians to invest some more in our own medical care. If you go to the hospital, the hospitals do not prevent anybody from accessing emergency medical services, but we must invest some more in our own medical. The hospitals need to purchase medicines, they need to upgrade equipment, and while the government is putting more money into healthcare, it will not be a situation where the government will be able to fund all of the healthcare costs.
With millions of dollars still outstanding, authorities now face the task of recovering those funds while making it easier for patients to understand and settle their bills. The push for more efficient collections is expected to help the hospitals maintain the supplies, equipment, and services patients rely on. For 7TV News, Josiah Bissett reporting.
Turning now from hospital finances to your grocery bill. If you've been looking for eggs on store shelves lately, you're not alone. Egg supplies have tightened in some supermarkets as local farmers switch between poultry cycles, according to Food Security Minister Lisa Jawahir. She says the government is encouraging farmers to work with agricultural extension officers and register with the ministry to access support and improve production.
Consumers have been noticing fewer eggs in the supermarket, with some retailers experiencing limited supplies in recent weeks. Minister of Food Security Lisa Jawahir says the situation is linked to local farmers changing their poultry operations. Jawahir explained that farmers have already alerted supermarkets that a switch is taking place around this time of year, which can temporarily affect the number of eggs reaching the market. She said the government is not looking to invest in additional hatcheries or egg production facilities, as several farmers are already producing eggs on a large scale.
We reached out to the egg farmers to see what other support the ministry could have provided, but they had already decided to turn over their chickens at that point in time. What that really means for us going forward, the government does not want to invest in hatcheries. We don't want to go into egg production because we have several farmers that are doing this on a large scale. What we are here to do is to ensure that the policy is there to accommodate what it is that they want. And of course, if they need any support from the government, will be readily available. How do we prevent this in the future? With just more open conversations with the farmers, that they can be a little more closely connected to the ministry now that we have our agenda for expansion of our food sector and our ultimate goal of achieving self-sufficiency.
The minister also revealed that a number of egg producers operating across St. Lucia are not registered with the Ministry of Agriculture. She says bringing more farmers into the official system remains one of the challenges facing the sector, particularly as some people enter agriculture without first seeking technical guidance. Jawahir is encouraging farmers to work closely with agricultural extension officers, particularly if they want to benefit from available government incentives.
If you want to be a registered farmer, so you can benefit from government incentives, the concessions that are available, support for your sector, I advise strongly that farmers get registered. So the extension offices are there. Some people may not know it. We'll continue to put out information so people are more aware. But the goal is that they are registered. So if anything happens and on a large scale government needs to provide support, government would ultimately provide support to persons who are of course registered.
As farmers complete the transition between poultry cycles, consumers could continue to see some fluctuations in egg availability. The ministry is therefore encouraging greater coordination between farmers, supermarkets, and agricultural officials to help keep supplies steady and ensure local producers are better positioned to meet demand. For Hot 7 News, I'm Chloe Dantes reporting.
And now it's time for Hot 7 TV News Quiz Break.
What is dark oxygen?
Still ahead in tonight's newscast, government outlines major infrastructure plans across St. Lucia. And a tough question for our education system: are we preparing students for life beyond the classroom?
Enjoy!
Wait, hold on. Where the red food? No mac and cheese, no stew box?
It's there. Just balanced.
Daddy, that's your carbs, your veg, and your protein.
You said you want to live a long time, right?
Yeah, but not like a rabbit.
We're not cutting on your belly. We're fixing it. Less grease, more good thing.
Them bellies have a real vibe, eh?
Daddy, healthy is good too,
My plate, a healthy plate. Eat good, feel good, live good.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition in collaboration with the Caribbean Development Bank and the Inter-American Development Bank.
Quick and easy, top up your card. No bank account, you get a pass. BUSL, my freedom card.
Flamingos are born with grey feathers and get their pink feathers from their food. They eat tiny shrimp, algae, and bits of plants that contain a natural chemical called carotenoid. Their bodies break down this color and store it in their feathers.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News.
Thanks for staying with us. The government has outlined plans for several new infrastructure projects across St. Lucia, including a proposed road intended to improve connectivity between the north and south of the island. Officials say the projects are aimed at strengthening the country's road network, easing travel, and improving access between communities. The plans form part of broader efforts to upgrade infrastructure and support development across the island.
St. Lucia could see significant changes to its road network as the government explores new ways to connect communities and improve movement across the island. Minister for Infrastructure, Port Services and Energy, Honorable Sean Edward, says one of the projects being considered is a new road connection between northern and southern St. Lucia, which could provide motorists with an alternative route between the two ends of the country.
The North-South Link Road is a concept that has been with government for some time now, across administrations. And this is basically highlighting a need for a better carriageway between the north and south of the island. And so somewhere on the northeastern coast, areas have been identified through which a road can be constructed to link Grosley to Dennery, and allowing road users to bypass the city of Castries given the congestion that we experience in the city on a daily basis.
The announcement comes as motorists continue to depend heavily on the island's existing main roads for daily travel. However, the minister's remarks did not immediately establish whether construction has been approved, when work could begin, or how much the proposed road would cost.
This will be one of the biggest capital projects to be undertaken by the government of St. Lucia. A few designs have been proposed, and quite a few companies from beyond the shores of St. Lucia have expressed interest in wanting to work with the government for the realization of that project.
Edward also pointed to other infrastructure projects being pursued by the government as part of its wider development program.
The Julian Hunt Highway is one of the big projects that we're looking to embark on this financial year. As we speak, we are at a very advanced stage of planning. I was hoping that when I came into the Ministry of Infrastructure, that after the first 3-4 months we would have been in a position where work would have actually started on the reconstruction of the Sir Julian Hunt Highway Rehabilitation Project. But unfortunately, because of the procurement process, we have not been able to actually break ground. But I can report this morning that we are at a very advanced stage of procurement. And the delicate thing about the procurement process is that there are so many I's to be dotted and T's to be crossed, especially when the sources of funding are not domestic and you're dealing with monies from outside of St. Lucia. There's a lot of due diligence that has to happen. There are a lot of processes you have to follow. So we would have received expressions of interest from approximately 10 companies on that highway. Those companies had to go through a pre-qualification process. A report had to be submitted to the QATs for no objection, and that is where we are at.
The government says these investments are intended to strengthen the country's infrastructure and respond to its future development needs. Until those details are released, it remains unclear when the proposed road could move from planning to construction. I'm Christabel Elby reporting for Hot 7 TV News.
While the government focuses on connecting communities through new roads, the Minister of Education is asking if we're doing enough to connect students to their future. Minister for Education and Youth Development Kenson Casimir has raised concerns about whether the education system is efficiently preparing students for life beyond the classroom. His comments come amid growing discussion about the role of schools in preparing young people for the challenges they may face after graduation.
The Minister of Education and Youth Development and Sports, Kenson Casimir, says his main concern in the education sector is whether students are being adequately prepared for life beyond the classroom. He says that while academic achievement remains an important part of education, there needs to be a balance between traditional academic learning and the development of practical life skills.
It is my biggest concern with the education sector because for me, even in sport, if you look at the direction we've taken in sport, it's sports for life. So from the grassroots program, you're supposed to be having life-altering programs to ensure that our young people are developing into more meaningful citizens. And so that is what the education sector is supposed to be doing.
While examinations and academic qualifications remain important pathways to higher education and employment, Kazime believes students must also be given opportunities to develop skills that are applicable outside the traditional classroom setting. Acknowledging the situation from a personal standpoint as a father, the minister also cited plans to implement more programs centered on life skills, aimed at equipping students with the knowledge and abilities they need to navigate everyday life and prepare for the workforce.
In all honesty, we have a lot of that actually going on in terms of ensuring that life skills are instilled in our children. Because I keep saying to my twins that at the end of the day, you can have all the grades in the world, but a nasty attitude will not land you a job. You will not be successful in life. So I think with most of what we're doing in our school system is trying to ensure that we have that balance. Do we need more of that? I think we do. I think we will be implementing a lot of programs that are off the books, that are more, life skills centered, team building, ethics in education, in life, and that sort of thing to ensure that we have a more well-rounded workforce in the future.
The programs are expected to form part of the government's efforts to ensure that education meets the changing needs of students and prepares them not only for careers, but also for life. The minister said finding the right balance will be important as the education system continues to evolve. For Hot 7 TV News, I am Ethne Brown reporting.
And speaking of preparing students, teachers say the physical environment matters too. The St. Lucia Teachers Union and educators are calling for major school construction and rehabilitation works to be completed before students return, citing past disruptions from dust, noise, and unfinished projects. With that in mind, Minister of Education, Kenson Kazime, says the ministry is working to have schools ready for the new academic year, with an additional $6 million secured to speed up renovations.
The St. Lucia Teachers Union and educators island-wide heavily stressed the need for a smooth transition into the academic year. Their primary requirement is that all major school rehabilitation and construction works must be completed before classrooms reopen. Historically delayed contractor handovers, active construction noise, unfinished roofing, and airborne dust have severely disrupted the first weeks of school. President of the St. Lucia Teachers Union, Troy Nestor, says this has added challenges for teachers and students.
We know that the government did give us the assurance that, there won't be construction happening within the period when teachers return for planning week and commencement, and that we'll have a very smooth reopening of school. Because as of right now, the health sector, especially the health components of teachers and so on, our insurance, it has risen in terms of the vast areas of concern for our teachers, and we hate to know that we are going back into structures where it is inadequate. So we're hoping that, as promised by our Ministry of Education, that works would be completed by planning week, and that we'll be able to have a smooth transition into school.
The St. Lucia Ministry of Education is working to complete structural upgrades at schools before the 2026 to 2027 academic year begins, aiming to avoid disruptions for teachers and students. Late summer construction has previously created challenges when work continued after classes resumed, prompting a greater focus on completing projects on time. Minister of Education, Honorable Kenson Kazime, says he and his team are working to ensure that construction crews are not still carrying out major works when students return to the classroom. The aim is to have schools safe, ready, and comfortable so teachers can focus on teaching and students can settle into the new school year without unnecessary distractions.
I did say that very early on, that under my watch, I would not want for the first day of school for any works, any noises from works to be happening as students get back into class. I can say that most, not all, Most of the schools have received some level of attention. As I announced earlier, when I became Minister of Education, we did have an analysis of over $150 million needed if we had to get all schools up to a particular modern level that we would want. But we won't be able to do it that way. So we've been, getting the main interventions needed for most schools, and we've definitely started in earnest. Most of the schools have actually completed some of the summer works programs, some not started as yet, but I will be getting a comprehensive report this week. But the expectation is that very, very soon we should be wrapping up those little works.
Earlier in the month of March, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre announced that he has also secured an additional $6 million to speed up school renovations across the island. For Hot 7 News, I'm Chloe Dantes reporting.
Before we head to our final block of stories, let's take another quick pause for the Hot 7 TV News quiz break.
What is the world's largest desert?
Stay with us. We'll be right back with more news.
Ready to sing it out? Every other Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Bring the energy to the ultimate blast karaoke night. Shower singer or stage legend. If you've got a voice, the mic is yours. And the vibes stay high. From old school classics to today's biggest hits. Step up, sing loud, sip on drink specials, enjoy tasty eats, and win big with Bingo! Blast Entertainment Center, corner of Chisel and Brazil Street. Upstairs, the new Starlight Building. So warm up those vocals, grab the mic. Blast Karaoke Night. Big notes, bigger wins.
Get ready for another evening of spectacular performances at Blast Karaoke Night on Wednesday, 12th August 2026.
St. Lucia, are you ready? The Kings are back. This August, come experience the excitement of the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League cricket as the St. Lucia Kings light up the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. Join us on August 12th, 14th, 16th, 19th and 21st from 7 p.m. Come for the cricket, come for the entertainment, come for the music, the vibes, the food and the unforgettable atmosphere. Bring your friends, bring your family, and wear your Kings colors with pride as we defend our home turf. St. Lucia Kings, one nation, one pride. Get your tickets now and be part of the action at the Darren Sammy Cricket.
Now you can take Hot FM, Kiss FM, and Hot 7 TV with you wherever you go. Whether you're in St. Lucia or exploring our four corners of the globe. Our record-breaking app has already been downloaded over 500,000 times on Google Play and the Apple App Store. To bring you the best in HD sound, we've relaunched a brand new app. Get it for free in the App Store by simply searching Caribbean Hot FM HD. Listen to us in real time, anywhere, any place, anytime. We've added so many cool new features like our live in-studio option where you can see your favorite announcers and DJs at work. So download the app today. It's free. Spread the news. St. Lucia is now in HD around the world on the Hot FM app. Don't miss out. Join the fun and stay connected.
Bananas are technically classified as berries, while strawberries and raspberries are not. They grow from a single flower with one ovary and have fleshy insides, soft rinds, and seeds embedded throughout the pulp.
The third segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Caribbean Awning. Let us cover your world.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News.
Welcome back. We continue on a more somber note as St. Lucia says goodbye to a cultural icon. Beloved Calypsonian Pankhurst McGriffin Theodore, better known as the Mighty Terror, was laid to rest Tuesday at Our Lady of the Rosary of Fatima Church in Leclerc. At 86, Terra leaves behind a rich musical legacy, with longtime friend and fellow Calypsonian Lord Jackson remembering him as a talented and honest man whose contribution to St. Lucian Calypso will live on.
St. Lucia has said its final goodbye to beloved Calypsonian Pancruz McGriffin Theodore, better known as the Mighty Terror, who was laid to rest on Tuesday, August 11, 2026, at Our Lady of the Rosary of Fatima Church in La Clery. Terror, who was 86, died on Sunday, July 19th, following a period of illness, bringing an end to a life deeply connected to St. Lucia's Calypso tradition. Family and friends gathered to pay their respects with longtime friend and fellow Calypsonian Mac Philip, better known as Lord Jackson, among those remembering the late performer. Speaking to Hot 7 TV News, Lord Jackson recalled Terror as an honest and talented man whose music and personality left a lasting impression on those who knew him.
He used to run a bar at Gozile for a friend. He used to tell me to come and check him there. I go there once or twice. Well, one thing I must say, he was an honest guy. Because when I go up there, Gozile, and I stop by the bar, he will buy me a drink or two, and he pushes in his pocket and pay the drink. One day I said to him, you run in a bar, you give me a drink, you have to pay for it. He said, that is not my bar. I help in a friend, I don't have to take his drink and give it to nobody.
Pancruz McGriffin Theodore, known as the Mighty Terror, was a pioneer in Calypsonian, teacher, public servant, and musician who helped shape St. Lucia's early Calypso movement. As a teacher at St. Mary's College, he organized Calypso competitions before taking his own place on the stage. Terror performed at several prominent venues and was a member of the Big Six Orchestra, before forming the Southern Brothers Orchestra, serving as its lead vocalist and multi-instrumentalist. He became a familiar figure at community dances across the South. He won the National Calypso Crown 7 times between 1957 and 1963, a record that stood until 2017. His music reflected the social and political issues of his time, including self-determination and the West Indies Federation, with winning songs such as Jamaica and the Federation and Radio Bingo. Mighty Terror leaves behind his children, Nadia, Allison, and Aldrich, their families and relatives from the Meanville and Theodore families in St. Lucia and abroad. At today's service at the La Clery Catholic Church, family, friends, and members of the cultural community gathered to honor a man whose music and legacy helped pave the way for generations of St. Lucian Calypsonians. I'm Christabel Obi reporting for Hot 7 TV News.
From remembering one life to protecting the next, the Ministry of Health has launched Breastfeeding Awareness Month at the Miku Secondary School, highlighting the importance of breastfeeding for a healthy start in life. Throughout the month, the ministry will promote breastfeeding education and encourage families and workplaces to create supportive environments for mothers.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition officially launched Breastfeeding Awareness Month with an opening ceremony at the Miku Secondary School, bringing together healthcare professionals, mothers, and community members to reaffirm the importance of breastfeeding in giving every child the best possible start in life. Held under the theme Breastfeeding for a Sustainable Start in Life, Strengthen What Works, the ceremony highlighted the shared responsibility of creating an environment where mothers feel informed, empowered, and supported to breastfeed successfully. Chief Nutritionist Lisa Hunt, in her welcome address, reaffirms the ministry's commitment to strengthening breastfeeding support.
Successful breastfeeding is not solely the responsibility of mothers. It requires a collective support of families, healthcare providers, employers, communities, and the policymakers. Every mother deserves accurate, evidence-based information about breastfeeding. Skilled guidance from trained health professionals and a supportive environment that enables her to breastfeed with confidence and dignity. Here in St. Lucia, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition remains committed to promoting, protecting, and supporting breastfeeding through evidence-based policies, baby-friendly initiatives, healthcare worker training, community education, and partnerships with national and regional stakeholders.
District Medical Officer Dr. Aaron Ajuda encouraged families to embrace breastfeeding, highlighting its far-reaching benefits.
I just want to encourage us to continue to encourage our patients, our families to breastfeed. My recommendation as a father is to ensure that in the benefits of breastfeeding that we add that there is benefits for the father as well, benefits for the soul, economic benefits, benefits for the relationship, health benefits as well, okay? Because it keeps you at peace, it keeps you in love, it keeps your mind at a state of emotional stability.
Minister for Health, Wellness and Nutrition, Honorable Moses Baptist, commended healthcare workers for their ongoing advocacy in breastfeeding support.
I want to applaud the staff for keeping this awareness going year after year. And our government is aware that diet and nutrition is essential for good health. It has to be part of the package of initiatives that must be supported in order for us to have this one health that we're talking about. That it's not just the medications and the doctor's advice and the nurse advice and the health aids and so on, but diet and nutrition must really continue to take center stage.
Throughout Breastfeeding Awareness Month, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition will continue to promote education and awareness on breastfeeding and encourage families, workplaces and communities to create supportive environments that enable mothers to breastfeed successfully. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition, I am Onika McCoy.
And finally, in Castries, the waterfront revamp is almost complete, with landscaping, lighting and painting among the final tasks, creating a new look for the city's front door. St. Lucia Cruise Port says the upgraded waterfront is expected to be fully completed and opened before the 2026-2027 cruise season.
According to St. Lucia Cruise Port Communications Manager Raquel Preville, work on the Castries waterfront is nearing completion, with landscaping, lighting fixtures, and painting among the final tasks being carried out. The area was opened temporarily for carnival celebrations, although the wider project, which began in the third quarter of 2025, still has a few finishing touches left.
The boardwalk, the boardwalk was temporarily open to facilitate carnival celebrations for both spectators as well as boaters. However, we are still in the completion phase of landscaping, lighting fixtures, as well as some painting operations that need to be completed before it is opened officially to the public.
Preville said work is also continuing at both the Castries and Soufrière cruise ports, with these upgrades needing to be completed before furthering developments can move ahead.
Right now, our complete focus is completing all construction-related activities here at Castries Waterfront, as well as in Soufrière. And after that point, we will be able to share future plans. But right now, our complete focus is completing the construction, ensuring that we are able to deliver a world-class experience related to cruise services here at St. Lucia.
The revamped waterfront is expected to be fully completed and open to the public ahead of the 2026-2027 cruise season. For Hot 7 TV News, Josiah Bissett reporting.
That wraps up our stories for tonight, but before you go, let's check what the skies have in store. Stay with us for your full weather forecast with Sirona Toussaint.
The third segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Caribbean Awning. Let us cover your world.
Caribbean Awning. Let us cover your world with products for shade, shelter, and security. Rolling shutters, accordion shutters, roll-up steel doors, residential garage doors, storm panels, PVC cladding, blinds and roller shades, retractable awnings, fixed frame awnings, vertical drops, outdoor roller shades, canopy covers, gazebo covers, tent covers, pool covers, van tops and truck covers, carports, marine products, chair covers and upholstery, commercial umbrellas, banners and signage by artwork, steel spiral and floating stairs, burglar bars, steel framed furniture, stainless steel cable railing, glass railing, aluminum louvered shade, aluminum fencing, aluminum railings, aluminum gates, estate gate motors, scissors gates, face recognition system, Caribbean Awning.
Log on to CaribbeanAwning.com.
Looking for the best way to advertise?
Stop searching. Hot 7 TV gives you more reach, more impact, and more value. Get your business in front of the right audience and watch your sales soar. Don't miss out. Call 452-6040 today and take advantage of our exclusive advertising packages. Hot 7 TV, smart advertising for smart businesses. And now for the weather report.
Good evening and welcome to Hot 7 TV's weather report. I'm your presenter, Sarah Natuse. Present weather at Renora Airport is partly cloudy and hazy. Present weather at George F. L. Childs Airport is partly cloudy and hazy. Present temperature at Renora Airport is 31 degrees Celsius or 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind at Renora Airport is blowing from the east at 14 miles per hour or 22 kilometers per hour. Rainfall in the 24-hour period that ended at 8 a.m. last night. At Renora Airport, 0.2 millimeters. At George F. L. Childs Airport, 2.4 millimeters. Sunset today, 6:28 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow, 5:50 a.m. Forecast for St. Lucia Valley for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from the east near 14 miles per hour or 22 kilometers per hour. Weather, fair and hazy, becoming cloudy at times with a few showers. Persons with respiratory ailments and dust allergies are advised to take the necessary precautions due to reduced air quality. Marine forecast for season of 25-mile or 40 kilometers radius from St. Lucia. Tides for Castries Harbour, high at 3:27 p.m., low at 8 p.m. Tides of Beaufort Bay, high at 4:54 p.m., low at 9:27 p.m. Seas slight with waves 2 to 4 feet or 0.6 to 1.2 meters. Small craft operators should exercise caution due to reduced visibility. Tropical weather outlook. The Atlantic pressure system will maintain light to moderate easterly winds across the Lesser Antilles during the forecast period. A plume of Saharan dust haze is expected to reduce visibility and air quality over the Lesser Antilles during the next 24 hours. A weak tropical wave in the vicinity of the Lesser Antilles is expected to cause occasional cloudiness with some scattered showers over portions of the region during the forecast period. Another tropical wave located over the central tropical Atlantic is moving westward near 12 miles per hour or 19 kilometers per hour. This wave is likely to encounter a large area of the environmental dry air and development is not expected. The wave is expected to affect the region tomorrow. A third tropical wave located over the eastern tropical Atlantic is expected to interact with an area of low pressure. Environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive for development by midweek, and a tropical depression will likely form during the latter half of this week, while the system moves westward to west-northwestward across the central tropical Atlantic. Environmental conditions are forecast to be more conducive for development by midweek, and a tropical depression will likely form during the latter half of this week, while the system moves westward to west-northwestward across the central tropical Atlantic. This has been Hot 7 TV's weather forecast for today, August 11th, 2026. I'm your presenter, Serena Tuse. Thank you for staying tuned and do have a good night.
Thank you, Sirona Tuse. And with that, we come to the end of the Hot 7 TV nightly news for today, Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. Don't forget to join us tomorrow at midday for our next news major. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Daniela Edwin. Thank you for tuning in and have a good night.
And now for our Hot 7 TV special news feature.